everyone, it's Julia, and welcome back to my channel. I thought I would do something a little different today and just share with you what I've been working on this week. I didn't have a chance to film any sewing tutorials, but I thought I would still just come on and just do a show and tell, basically. I hope too that you have a chance to just leave a comment on what you're working on and maybe what's on your sewing table. I'm going to take you over to my table and just show you what I've done. I can pretty much sum up what I've been working on in one word, and that word is llamas. A few weeks back, if you've been following me for a while, I did a video on how I do my scrappy appliques, and I did a project, a llama project, and also did a free printable on this llama. I will link it down below, that video, and also up on the iCards. If any of you have missed it, you can go back and take a look on how I did it. But I did several of these llamas this week, and I attached them to different projects. So I thought it'd be fun for you to see just where, what you can do with them and just some of the ideas that I came up with. The first one, all of these are going to be in my Etsy shop, so if you're interested, just hop on over there. Also, my Etsy shop will be linked down below. But this first one actually sold last night, and it's a tote bag with the llama on it. I do purchase my tote bags from the same supplier that I get a lot of my sweatshirts. So I did not make the tote bag, but I really love this because it's a heavier cotton canvas, and it has the raw edges on it, similar to my raw edge applique. So I just really like the look of these totes. I always put a little on my totes, and I love the cotton webbing and the hardware that comes on these. But here is my little llama. I put just lots of different colors, lots of different laces, and you can see I use a multicolored thread, so the threads are bright and it's just real cheerful and lots of texture on the scrappy appliques, which I really love. And also I put a little button that says I like you a lot, with the 2 L's for in like and the 2 L's on a lot. I do have a button machine, and I create the buttons in Photoshop, make my own buttons. I have a couple here that aren't attached, but they look like this. I had purchased this button making machine several years, probably 10 years ago now. I sell these individually, like in my little summer shop. So it has paid for itself, but the machine itself was spendy. But yeah, I do love to add them to different designs and different things that I make. Another thing I added on this is one of my tassels. Last week I did a video on making a journal, and I included the instructions on how I did these tassels, and I again will link that up on top and also down below, so you can take a look at that. This is a really easy way to make a tassel, and it just adds a lot. Now, and it's removable. I mean, if this gets in your way, you can certainly take it off or do whatever with it. But anyway, that is my first project. This little llama went on a tote bag. The next thing I did was size the llamas in a little bit different sizes and made just textile art. This is an 8x10. I do all my work on a piece of the cotton canvas. This is actually that drop cloth that I used in my last video on the journal. I've been using the drop cloth on a lot of these projects, and it is backed with a piece of just quilt batting. The llama in the 8x10, and then I also did the similar one in a 5x7. Now I thought these would be really fun in a nursery or a kid's room. And again, it says I like you a lot with a little button that's attached. Now these buttons are removable. You can certainly take them off if you don't want them on there. But these just pop into, I'll just pop one in quick. Pop into a frame. This is the 5x7, and again, you can just stick them in a frame and then just stick it on a shelf, or it can get hung up in a collection. Another thing that I love are these IKEA frames. I don't think you can get them online. I think you have to go to one of the IKEA stores, but these are such a good value if you ever happen to be in one of the stores. They're, I think, $3.99. they would just pop right in to a frame like this. And even the 5x7 would work in this and it would be just a little bit wider mat on it. But real fun. So that was my textile art that I did with the llamas. The next thing I did was I traced one out. I made another journal and I traced the little design out, but I did not do the scrappy applique. I did the free motion, and then I filled in some of the color with just Inktense. I did a little bit of the scrappy look on the little blanket, and then added the tassel. In the same video I did last week, I will again, I've linked it, so you can see how I make the journals if you missed that. But they have inside pockets, and then this one I added just a little writing journal. It's just the line pages in this one. The last, I think this is the last, oh no, I got a couple more to go with the llama. A wall hanging. And on the cotton canvas, it does have the backing with the corners that are triangle corners and the little dowel. I put a dowel in the bottom too to give it some weight. The top is batted, but the bottom layer is not. So it's just on this cotton canvas, and I think it'd be just a wonderful addition to a nursery or a child's room. And it's just again the scrappy applique with the button. Got the little button in there, and then you would just hang it with from the dowel. So it's all ready to go. That was that one. And then this is a child-sized jean jacket that I came across. It is the Gap brand. Very little wear. I mean, it was just in really good condition. It feels broken in, but you know how they feel. But this one, I think the Gap, all the Gap is like this. This one is, like I said, is in really good condition, and I washed it. And the front of it, if you can see, I just added some of the scrappy patches, and then I put a fabric yo-yo in between each of the little buttons. And then on the back is where I added the llama. I also added a little yo-yo to the llama's blanket. And one other project that I did with the llamas is I made a pillow, and this is a 14 by 14 inch pillow. The top is the cotton canvas, and I did put a piece of the batting in it to give it the quilted look on the top. But then the rest of the pillow is primitive muslin. It does have that tea-dyed kind of look to it. That is it for the llamas, but I did get some ribbons made. These are the scrappy ribbons. I did a video on how I make these. But I've been selling these quite a bit, and I just added a new color to my store. This is it's just a brights, and it's like happy colors. And some of the sayings that I put on it are just happy sayings. Like this says, think happy, be happy. It's just the scrappy look to it. Embrace possibilities. I love adding little pieces of the little sayings, and I just stamp these out on muslin. Each one of my little ribbons are just the width of the muslin, which is approximately 42 inches or so, and they just scraps, right? They're very scrappy. I do add lace to them, lots and lots of stitching. I do add them to a little tag. And then I do put one little, see if I can find it here. Yeah, one little garment pin with a couple buttons. Sometimes I put a charm or maybe a bead on it. And then this is just wrapped around. I've had the question like, what do you do with this? Well, I would add it to something, of course, embellish something with it. But a lot of people like these in their journals, just to decorate a page with it on the journals or a scrapbook page. Perhaps maybe even adding it to a little pouch or something like that. The tag, of course, can be used to make a card or a journal page, that type of thing. So this is the brights, and this is a new edition. I've also, just to show you, this is the pinks the pinks and orange one. I do one with more earth tone colors, and then I also do a blue and green one. But this is how it comes packaged, and the little clip kind of holds it all together. I think that's it. I will hopefully be back next week with more of a sewing tutorial for you, and I just hope you have a chance to share down in the comments just what you've been working on. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.